Daktari.
Yes, sir.
We have Ugenya and we have Gem.
Yes.
There are claims, I don't know, you'll clarify whether they are claims or facts, that Ugenya and Gem were siblings, were brothers. How true is that?
Thank you very much on that question. Early history about the Luos were written by scholars like Ogot, Ucheng, and others. Those scholars were writing for university audience. Those scholars did not have more time, technology that me and you have now. Because with technology now we can approach many people at a time. Then they would just get a few people and then they wrote and write. So according to those scholars, is that there was one called Ramogi. I started earlier from Sinakuru,
Yes.
moving up to Ramogi 1, Ramogi 2, then coming down, then there was one called Omolo. Omolo was a brother to one called Ochielo. It's in the book, Ochielo. Ochielo became father one called Ragem. Ragem became father of two sons, one called Gem, another one called Ugenya. It said Ugenya was adopted after the death of Ragem. So Ugenya and Gem are seen as brothers from the top. Ugenya and Gem are brothers from the top. So when you come to Gem as the elder brother, Gem had initially three sons. One is called Nyakota. There's the so-called Kanyakoten Gem. They are few. Nyakota was the eldest son of Gem, but he was not endowed, so his people are not many. Like in most families, some people they tend to get more children, others don't get. Then there was one called Kwenda, who had a lot of children, about 5 sons, and a daughter. There's a daughter called Gelo, who went to go to marry Nimbo, but because living conditions in Nimbo are not good, she came back to Gem, and that's called Joka Gelo. Then there's Ojuodi. Ojuodi is in the Gem, of course, he's predominant. His people were many. He was the last born, his people were many, and most of them were in the Gem along Yala area. That's Ojuodi. Then on Ugenya's side, Ugenya had 8 sons. 8 sons. One was called Anamlwanda, and the clan meant in the book of mentioned the clans, those who fall under Anamlwanda. There's one called Omolo, whom of course Ugenya had mentioned his great grandfather. They had called Omolo. Then there was one called Gor. Then there's one called Deji. Then there's one called Wajaku, Chingwalijak. Chingwalijak was a very violent person, hence Jokagir. He orders him Kagir. That's where the name comes from. Then Rachio and Yiner. So those are the sons of Ugenya. So in the old days, you could cluster them as few as that. But now, when I went to the ground, now among them there are more clans which have evolved. For example, if I take in Gem say Juodi, there are many sub-clans which fall under Juodi. Because Juodi married, sons married, got other children, things like that. When I come to Ugenya, Kanyamut, there are also many also who fall under Kanyamut. Now, because of that fact that now the many and they're scattered, it's possible for intermarriages because the clans are more or less scattered. Where the clans stayed for a long time without intermarriage was Karachuonyo. In Karachuonyo, the 5 wives of Rachuonyo were distinct and they knew one another. So initially they were not getting married. It took time for them to get married. But these days they get married because the elders agreed in what's called Ngadoguo. Ngadoguo means that you are enemies, but you come and agree that because of this, let it go ahead. It's because of a taboo, we can go through a taboo. Like something called taxonomy and oxonomy. In among the Luo, you cannot marry a sister. It's a big taboo, isn't it? But you can marry a relative based on what has happened in the past. So Luo also, there are some things which you don't do, like marrying a sister or eating animals like things like snakes, lizards. In the book I've got mentioned things which are taboo and not taboo. So over time those things have come up. So that's how the Luos live. Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay for your Gem marrying the Ugenya because there's a lot of intermarriage between the two communities, between the two clans, the Gem and the Ugenya.
Let me give like example in the Bible. There's Adam and Eve and then a few others. You remember?
Yes.
Then there were few. But as they expanded, they could marry a few of their relatives, but not all that very close. So the same thing happened here, because even them over time they were expanding and getting closer to one another. However, there's some micro clan level when you know a specific clan, you can't marry. For example, in Nyakach, Agoro is a specific clan, so you can't marry Nyaragoro Kija Agoro.
Oh.
Yeah. Or say Ugenya, some Hiro. Hiro is a specific small clan. You can't marry Nyarimbo Hiro because it's Hiro. They know themselves over time. Okay. So that's how it spread.
So like for me, Ajakano, but okay Ugenya,
yes,
clan Markagir.
Yes.
So that means that I cannot marry somebody from Kagere clan.
Yes, and among Kagere also, there are sub-clans in Kagere. So those sub-clans don't marry with one another. But somebody from away can marry the Kagere marriage. Because the sub-clans have come up from like families. Let me give a still example. I like giving Karachuanya. Close Karachuanya example is easier. When I was doing it, I tabulated at length. Take Karachuonyo. There was a first wife of Rachuonyo called Kanyaluo. They are called the Kanyaluo people, Nyaluo. So under Kanyaluo, they know themselves. Jokowor, Kobila, Kangech, Kumolo, Kobok, Kudiambo, Kauma. They've known them, those specific families. So that they say, don't marry one of these, but you marry from outside. And the families go on showing their children one thing after another because it's part of human living. Biologically, you can marry a relative and have children, but socially, it does not augur well. So Luos have customers where they say, no, if you are from Kuyugi or Ondege clan or Kawiti, don't marry from Kawiti, marry from somewhere else. Yeah. And this book is helping the youth to know that, because this book is a 500-page book on the clans and legends. So any young man can use it as a reference. You see, when a young man is in town, he might not know what's happening. And then in doing this book, we called people, we did statistical analysis, called people, validated, and it came with a document which they can use as a reference. And we hope in future, of course, if somebody has better ideas, he can improve on this one. The purpose is to do a base. You know, in research, you do a base start line. Then whoever comes in will do improvement on it. But for the time being, this is the reference book for Luo clans and legends.
Hello guys, you have heard that. Who you can marry, who you cannot marry. So that's another reason to buy and read the book to understand the context of the culture. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you very much.